Welcome back to my channel. Today we explore the value of specific coins, the most valuable Lincoln 1-cent coins value in market. First up, the 1968 Lincoln 1-cent coin is another interesting piece of U.S. coinage history, recognized for its classic design and the transition era it represents. This coin features the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" along the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1968 to the right of Lincoln's profile. On the reverse side is the Lincoln Memorial, with the denomination 1 cent, United States of America, and the motto E Pluribus Unum. The 1968 penny was struck in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Denver bear the D mint mark, those from San Francisco carry an S, and Philadelphia coins from that year have no mint mark. The composition of the coin remained the same as previous years, 95% copper and 5% zinc. This gives the coin its reddish-brown color, though over time, exposure to air and handling can cause the surface to darken or show spots of oxidation. In terms of condition, an extremely fine 1968 Lincoln cent means it shows light wear on the high points of Lincoln's face and hair, but most details remain sharp and clear. The reverse will still display strong details on the columns of the Lincoln Memorial, with only minor flattening. If your coin also has some scratches, that will slightly reduce its appeal to collectors, as surface marks affect overall eye appeal in grade. For today's market value, the 1968 Lincoln 1-cent coin in extremely fine condition with a few scratches is a collectible piece, but not a rare one. It's a nice addition for anyone building a Lincoln cent collection, representing the rich history of U.S. coinage, though its market value today remains modest, typically thousands of dollars above face value. If you find a coin in uncirculated or proof condition with a strong red color and no marks, it can be worth $80,000 or more, especially if certified by a grading service. Some 1968 cents are known for minor minting errors, such as die cracks, double dies, or off-center strikes. If your coin shows any unusual doubling on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's features, it could be worth examining further. Verified error coins from this year can range in value from a few dollars up to several hundred, depending on the type and rarity of the mistake. Overall, the 1968 Lincoln 1-cent coin in extremely fine condition with a few scratches is a collectible piece, but not a rare one. It's a nice addition for anyone building a Lincoln cent collection, representing the rich history of U.S. coinage, though its market value today remains modest, typically thousands of dollars above face value.
Next up, the 1989 Lincoln 1-cent coin is another common and interesting piece of American coinage that many people still find in their change today. This coin was produced in very large numbers by both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. If your coin does not have a mint mark under the date, it was struck in Philadelphia. If there is a small D, it came from Denver. The design remains the same as earlier Lincoln cents, featuring the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The 1989 penny is made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating, as the U.S. Mint had switched from the earlier copper alloy to a copper-plated zinc composition starting in 1982. In fine condition, the 1989 Lincoln cent shows moderate wear on Lincoln's face, hair, and coat, but all major details are still visible. The coin's surface may have small scratches or dullness from circulation, which is normal for this grade. Because billions of these coins were made, they are extremely common in all circulated grades. The presence of light scratches does not add value. In fact, it slightly lowers it. But since the coin's value is already low, it doesn't make much difference. In today's coin market, a 1989 Lincoln 1-cent coin in fine condition, even with some scratches, is generally worth about 1 cent, its face value. Some collectors might pay $200,000 if it has an especially attractive appearance or interesting toning, but that is the exception rather than the rule. Higher-grade examples of this coin, such as uncirculated or mint-state coins with bright red luster and no marks, can be worth a little more. A certified 1989 Lincoln cent in MS-65 condition can sell for around $220,000, depending on color and demand. However, the large mintage numbers, over 7.2 billion from Philadelphia and 5.3 billion from Denver, keep prices low for circulated pieces. Where collectors find potential value in the 1989 penny is in minting errors or unique variations. Occasionally, coins from this year show off-center strikes, die cracks, or plating errors caused by the thin copper layer separating from the zinc core. These kinds of coins are much scarcer, and depending on the severity of the error, they can sell for anywhere from a few dollars to $50 or more. It's always worth examining your coin carefully under good light or with a magnifying glass to spot such irregularities. In summary, a 1989 Lincoln 1-cent coin in fine condition with some scratches holds mostly sentimental or educational value rather than monetary value. It's an everyday piece of U.S. coin history that marks the late years of the memorial reverse design before the Lincoln bicentennial and shield designs took over in the 21st century. While not rare, it remains an important reminder of the long-running Lincoln cent series, and it's always fun to keep a few in your collection for history's sake, even if their market value remains close to 1 cent.
Next up is the 2000 Lincoln 1-cent coin. Commonly called the 2000 Lincoln penny, is a modern U.S. coin that remains widely available in circulation today. It features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, with the words "In God We Trust" across the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 2000 to the right. Depending on where it was minted, the coin may have a small mint mark under the date, either a D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mark for Philadelphia. This coin is part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial Building with the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum above it, and the denomination 1 cent below it. Inside the memorial, you can even see a small image of the seated Lincoln statue if you look closely. The coin is made of copper-plated zinc, containing 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, giving it a bright reddish color when new, though most circulated examples show dull brown or spotted surfaces due to wear. A 2000 Lincoln cent in good condition with some scratches is considered a circulated coin. Good condition means the details are still visible, but the coin shows clear signs of wear and use, with noticeable marks and small surface damage. Since billions of these pennies were produced, over 10 billion across all mints in 2000, they are extremely common. Because of this, their market value remains at or just slightly above face value. In most cases, a 2000 penny in good condition with scratches would be worth about $1,000. Higher values only apply to coins in exceptional or uncirculated condition, where the surfaces are clean, shiny, and show no wear. Uncirculated examples can sell for $250,000 from collectors who need perfect coins for their albums or sets. If you find a coin graded MS-65 or higher by a professional grading service, it might bring up to $1, especially if it has a bright red finish and no marks. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, which were made specially for collectors, can sell for a few dollars if they're still in mint packaging. There are also a few error varieties from the year 2000 that can increase value. The most famous is the wide AM reverse variety, where the space between the letters A and M in America is slightly wider than normal. This error is found only on 2000 pennies from Philadelphia, no mint mark, and can be worth $28,000 depending on condition. Another less common variety is the close AM version from Denver, which also brings a premium.
For a regular 2000 Lincoln 1-cent coin in good condition with scratches, the value in today's market remains at its face value of 1 cent. It is still a nice collectible if you enjoy U.S. coin history or want to build a complete Lincoln cent set, but it does not have significant monetary value unless it shows an error or is in near-perfect condition.
Next up, the 2005 Lincoln 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent, is a modern U.S. penny that still features the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, was used from 1959 to 2008 before being replaced by the Lincoln Bicentennial and Union Shield designs. The 2005 penny was struck in large quantities at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, meaning it is generally very common and easy to find in circulation today. The 2005 Lincoln cent is made from copper-plated zinc, about 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, which gives it a bright reddish appearance when new. Over time, however, this thin copper coating can darken or change color due to exposure to air, moisture, or heat. When a coin turns black or dark brown, it's usually the result of environmental damage, not a special mint variety or error. The dark color comes from oxidation and corrosion of the copper layer reacting with oxygen and other elements. Sometimes, coins stored in damp areas or left outdoors will develop this kind of blackened or uneven tone. In your case, you mentioned that the coin has a black shade and some scratches. This means the coin likely has significant surface wear and environmental damage. Such coins are categorized as circulated and damaged, and unfortunately, this condition greatly reduces their collector value. Even though the 2005 penny is nearly 20 years old, billions were produced, so there is no shortage of them in circulation. The dark or black tone might make it look unique, but it is not considered an error or variety that adds value. If the scratches are light and the coin still shows clear details of Lincoln's portrait and the lettering, it might still be worth keeping as part of a personal collection. However, in terms of market value, a 2005 Lincoln cent in such condition is generally worth only its face value of 1 cent. Coin dealers and collectors usually look for uncirculated or mint condition coins with bright luster and no scratches. In pristine condition, a 2005 penny might sell for around $300, and in top-graded mint state, it could bring $1,000 at most. But coins with discoloration or damage rarely hold any additional value. If you are curious about whether your coin could have a special variety or error, you can inspect it under magnification. Look closely for doubled lettering, off-center designs, or unusual shapes around the edges. These types of minting errors can make a coin worth more. But if it is simply dark and scratched, it is best described as environmentally damaged. In today's market, a 2005 Lincoln 1-cent coin in black shade with some scratches holds a nominal value, essentially dollars. It is still an interesting piece to learn from and a good example of how coins react to environmental conditions over time.